My name is Rotimi Ojamamoye, and it's a pleasure again to give you updates and feedbacks on the oil Palmrich estate project. Like we know, this has been proven over and over again as one of the most profitable real estate investment globally and in Nigeria. And for most of our partners in Nigeria, in Africa, all over Europe, North and South America, and Australia, wherever you are that you have keyed into this project, we owe you the responsibility to update you on how your investments are growing, and also more importantly, on the projections that we have assured or given on the project. But the very good news to us is that oil has been wonderful in 2024-2025. Unbelievable. So in Nigeria, practically a 25-liter keg of oil rose from 15,000 naira in January, and as of December, it is 70,000 in Lagos, and in other area more than that. That's good news to every investor. And that's why we need to explain to you how this matters to you on your investment on owning units of oil palm plantation. So let's take a quick look into the projections and how this also will matter to you both now and in the future. Don't forget that when you subscribed, maybe in 2024 or 2023, we projected that it can be a 30,000 naira per 25-liter keg. And like we practically demonstrated that on a plot of land, you're going to have about 10 trees, 10 oil palm trees. And if you Google up that, globally, you can see that on a plot, you have an average of maximum or an average of 10 trees. And 10 trees per tree of oil palm have the capacity of giving you 25 to 70 liters of oil palm. But don't let us shoot so far, because it depends on your mechanized processing capability for you to extract more from the palm fronts. So let's stay within a very comfortable terrain of less 25 to 36 liters. But for the purpose of this projection, we're going to be using the base, which is 25 liters per tree. So if a tree is going to give you 25 liters of palm oil, but don't forget that when you planted and they are just fruiting maybe in the 3 or 4th year, the capacity may not be that so much high, but over time, wow, it'll be like you've planted money, because the trees are going to fruit better, and then you're going to make more than 25 liters per tree. But for the purpose of this projection, let's look at this critically. So you see the beautiful palm trees and the palm fronts. This is where the money comes from. It contains the palm oil, and you can see this white yolk in it. That's the palm kernel rather. And this palm kernel also, it's a whole lot of source of money. You see this yellowish substance here? That's the palm front that produces oil. Now, after extracting the oil from this yellowish center, you have the fiber. The fiber is used for other sources. And also from the kernel inside, you have the kernel shell and a lot of other things that come from the palm oil. But let's dwell on the projections with the palm oil, then we'll come back to the byproducts. So let's take a flip into what we have here. So we have a table that's clearly explained. And on this table, you can see the different locations: Ibadan, Adodo. This is the phase 8 in around the Wekoro. Then you have the numbers of tree and also the liters expected. Now, like we said, we're going to be using an average of 25 liters, but definitely you can expect up to 25 to 36 liters. But if we're going to go by this projection, we have projected upward again that palm 25 liter keg should sell for 40,000, because the reality in the market now is that palm oil is up. And if it is selling for 40,000, don't forget, let me establish this. This project is an equity project, equity-based project. And in simple terms, when you are investing in any instrument, It is either you are a debt investor or you are an equity investor. A debt investor meaning the investment is indebted to you. So either we make profit or not, you are going to be paid. That if it is a debt model. But on an equity base, it means we share the profit together. And see, one of the greatest fall I have seen about investment, especially in Nigeria, is that people don't like being told the truth. It's bitter. Everywhere in the world, investment has one core thing that you should always think about. The risk about it, the profitability about it. And if you don't think through those two things, you are not real to yourself. So most times we want people to promise us heaven and earth, and then our heart is broken. And then we say, oh, they are bad. They are not doing it right. But the truth is, if we understand the basics, you can be confident about what we are doing. And that's why I'm taking time to break this down to you so you understand everything that we are doing and then you are comfortable with it. Now, let's go by the projection of 125 liters at 40,000. It means that 10 trees will give you an average of 400,000 if we have 300 liters. That's 300 liters both from palm oil and palm kernel oil. Because we have said our base for projection for palm oil is 25 liters per tree. So at 25 liters per tree, you're going to have 250 liters. And we are saying, hopefully, we get more and even far better than 25 liters. But for the comfort of this, let's use that each plot will give you an average of 300 liters on our projection. And that will give you, in Naira term, about 400,000 Naira. But the challenge that has caught our attention to make this very more explicit and transparent to you is what I'm going to do mathematically on the board now. So you can follow me and see what we're going to have on the board. So for the purpose of this whole graphics that you're seeing, let's put it to a practical mathematical demonstration. So if your tree is going to give you 25 liters and then you have 10 trees, so you're expecting 250 liters. And then we are saying that if it gives you more plus the palm kernel oil, we should be expecting 300 liters. So on the base of the current oil price, if 25 liter is selling for 40,000 Naira, or we are projecting with 40,000 Naira. So it means 10 trees, 250 liters should give you 400,000, right? So you have 400,000 in Naira. So I know most of us are not disputing this, but you want to hear more. You want to hear that, oh, palm oil is 70,000 Naira. So Assetrise, what's happening? So it is simple. What we have done to make sure that this project is transparent is, number one, we have a BOT that is beyond Assetrise, the Board of Trustees. Now, the Board of Trustees make decisions on the entire Palmrich Estate project. And why are these Board of Trustees instituted? Because they constitute majority of owners on the Palmrich project. So when we harvest every week, every month, the record of the harvest is declared to them. And then they can confirm that, oh, 10,000 palm fronds, 100,000 palm fronds were harvested. And also when we mill, it is also declared to them. So they know, oh, in January we did 1,000 liters, or we did 10,000 liters, so they keep the record. Number two, when we are going to sell the palm oil, they are also the one to make the decision. So the Board of Trustees can send a delegate to my 12, which is one of the biggest markets in Lagos, or to any other market to confirm how much is palm oil selling now. We want to sell 100,000 liters of palm oil. Or in the case that we are selling to bulk buyers like PZ and the rest of them, it's simple. An order can be raised, and then the board confirms also that, oh, PZ or other bulk buyers in the market are going to be buying our 100,000 liters for so amount. So this projection, like we said, does not mean that this is all that you will expect if the price go up. So I'll give you an example of what you may be expecting at this current season if the price does not change. And that is also determined by the production from the palm trees. You know, I am not a palm tree. So we know that the trees have been planted, they are fruiting, but subject to many other things, maybe climate or maybe other things. If the fruits don't give so much as projected, we will also let you know. And if the trees give much more, definitely we'll all be happy and we'll let you know. So let's go by the projection of a tree giving us maybe, if we go by a projection of a tree giving us 25 liters, and then currently it is being sold for 70,000. Don't quote me, we said projection, right? So if 25 liters is being sold for 70,000 naira, it means if you have 10 kegs of 25 liters, it will give us an average of 700,000, right? Am I correct? So 70,000 will give us 700K. It means on a plot, you will be expecting over 700K because this is also excluding the kernel. And it means on the plot, you can be expecting 800, 700K if the price maintains what it is now throughout 2025 till when the BOT decides that we should sell the oil that we have milled. Now, as against the projection of 360,000, you may be right to say that oil is selling now at 70,000 and then the projection should be 700K or even more. You may be very correct. But we want to be very practical with this project. And I'll give you instances at other companies that are doing far better than we are and what has made them sustainable for the past 3 or 4 decades that they've been in business. Now, if we raise your emotions so high by giving you very great projection and then at selling oil price drops, you'll be disappointed. So for us, it is better that we accept a base projection. That a base projection is, oh, if this happens to the lowest minimum, let's be expecting this. But definitely both the high and the low projection is not totally within our control. The BOT are carried along to make these decisions on your behalf. So nobody is cheated, nobody is left out of communication. And that means you are going to be getting reports on everything that we're doing also going forward from the BOT. You will get emails of production, you get emails when we're to make selling decisions, and the rest of it. Now, in conclusion about this, if this price shoots here in 2025, and then in 3 years' time, for those of us who are just buying now, a keg of oil is now selling for 100,000 naira per 25 liters. And then you have 10. It means your one plot can give you 1 million naira. I mean, that's how awesome this business is. So I knew when my father was selling a 25-liter keg of palm oil for 500 naira. Yes, because I was born into this. And I knew when it rose in 2021, we were selling a keg of 25 liter for 8,500. And in 2024, January, it was selling for 15,000. That is not the off-peak period now. At the off-peak period, it can go up more than that. But in 2024, the peak period, which is January, it was selling for 15,000. But we're in January 2025. In the peak period, it's still selling high. So it means in 3 years' time, if the price appreciates by virtue of inflation, number one, number two, by virtue of demand, because the demand keeps growing. Population is increasing, consumption is increasing, and so the demand will keep growing, and it means that the price will keep going up. So if in 3 years' time, or maybe in 2 years' time, because it is so funny that the keg is 70,000 just within 1 year. So it can happen next year. It can happen in 3 years' time that a keg is 100K. It means on a plot, revenue of 1 million naira can be realized. But beyond all this palm oil and the byproduce thing that we're talking about, look at the greater advantage. That you have an asset that these palm trees are sitting on, which is the land. And don't forget, like we said, land banking is one of the most profitable business you can do. You buy land for the future appreciation, either to sell or to use. And I'll give you clear examples. We sold Ibadan last year, 2024, January, February, March, at 2 million naira. In 2025, Ibadan is 5 million. That's how much appreciation. That's well over 200% appreciation. So your land is appreciating over the years. Your palm oil also is appreciating in production and in price over the years. So you are you're benefiting from all ends. And we can conclude that this is one of the best instruments of investment globally, especially with what we're doing in Assetrise with the Palmrich Asset Project. And look at companies like the Okumu Oil, the Presco. You can Google out these companies by yourself. Okumu last year was doing well over 50 billion profit after tax. Presco was doing well over 190 billion. And this will be sustained. In 2023, they were not declaring up to that. In 2022, they were not declaring up to that. So it means as we climax in this project, you also are going to be climaxing in return. And that is what we are trying to be very clear about. Lastly, the management of the Palmrich is never without you. You are going to be carried along every phase of the management. It is your property. You are free to send your delegates, even to when we are processing, to sites. And then you see for yourself what this is all about. And when we are even telling you, oh, a keg is going to be selling for 30,000, you are very free to confirm from the market how much is a keg. And then chat us up, call us. And together we can create instruments that will make Africans create wealth in Africa. This is what it's all about. We appreciate you for your time, and we appreciate you for being a part of this project. We can tell you that with Oil Palmrich Africa project, which is a revolution in co-investing in agriculture in Africa, especially with the cash crop, we are going to make money passively, not just for today, but for tomorrow. Either you're planning for your retirement, this is one of the best instruments to retire to. Either you're planning for your children's education in 3 years, 4 years time, and you don't want to be pressured, please put the pressure on Palmrich today. If you own an hectare of Palmrich, you are guaranteed that your children's tuition are paid in the future. Either you are planning this as a diversification for your business and you want to own a mini plantation, this is one of the best instruments. It is appreciating over the years. It means you're going to be profitable and having a good cash flow over the years. If the economy is fluctuating, you have an alternative income with a Palmrich. And do you know what? Beyond all this economic value is that you are going to be supporting lots of Nigerians, especially youth and women, to have jobs and to create livelihood for their families. Because this project is going to employ thousands of persons to work in the farms and in the factories. Number two, we have planted over 450,000 trees. It means you are part of the campaign to support the climate change and to make a better ozone layer for us. Most of you fly every now and then, and then, oh, hear that there's turbulence in the air, blah, blah, blah. It's climate change. The better way we can solve it is to help the ozone layer to be relieved from carbon by planting more trees. And that's what you're doing. And socially, I mean, a lot of benefits to the communities where these projects are being hosted. We are providing pipe-borne waters for most of this community, supporting their children to go to school via scholarship, and you are all a part of this, driving this change in different communities around Africa. We appreciate you. Call in your friends and your family from everywhere and show them how tangible and how profitable this is by sending this video for them to watch. Thank you.